Couple more things I want to add to the skepticism idea. Um, Even if you look up information about said politician or an exercise, you'll realize that there's many different sources, and some viewed as more credible than others, and you still don't know. It's still, each one is still has chances for error, still has chances for misjudgment. So just take everything with a grain of salt. You know, that phrase has been around for a long time because it's a realization that nothing is static. Things change. The medical industry changes as knowledge grows. People realize certain things are not good. We change things. For a long time, we were, and we still are, giving um, dogs and cats the same rabies vaccine. It just so happens that there was some tests, and I don't know how true this is, but there have been studies done that 1 in 10,000 or so cats develop cancer because of that rabies vaccine. Many places still give that vaccine, and owners are not aware, unless they do their own research, that there's a 1 in 5 to 10,000 chance. Forget exact numbers, but there's a chance that your cat can get cancer at the site of injection. That's why veterinarians are supposed to give the shot low on the leg. Because if so happens, and the cancer doesn't come about instantaneously, it's not like you wake up next morning and you got a lump on your leg. It develops slowly over time, right? The cells react in a negative way to the foreign chemical that went into the body. So they'll have to amputate that leg. Or if they didn't do it low on the leg, if we don't give the shot low on the leg, then, and you give it up in the shoulder or in the body, and cancer develops there, your cat's fucked. The surgery is way more difficult. If it gets into the spine, done. They can remove it, might come back, you don't know. So, not to drag this on too long, but we developed there was a new development of a new vaccine for felines, separate from canines. It's called rabies PureVax. So you see how something new was developed. And I'm sure most of you have pets and don't know this fact, that there's a feline separate vaccine. Because maybe your clinic doesn't carry it. Or maybe you just haven't heard of it, right? And maybe in another 10 years, they'll say that vaccine is now obsolete. We don't need to do it anymore. We have something better that covers rabies. And there's much less chances of adverse reactions than the PureVax 2. Because that one had some other reaction that was not recorded because it was new. And 20 years later, we realized that it has some of its own reactions. You see what I'm saying? As time goes on, New things are developed, new knowledge is gained. Um, it's a balance between life and death, positive and negative. And skepticism helps you not just blindly believe things, right? That's why I'm always careful about what I believe in. See, there's all sorts of people out there. Not everyone is in it for your best interest. Most like 99% of people, including yourself, you're in it for your own interests, right? You go to the doctor, and I'm talking about vets usually and things like that because that's the realm that I live in, and I know I've seen it. So it's something that I can dig into the memory banks and give you examples with. So, you go to a doctor, a veterinarian, or some type of person who's offering you service, and they're going to try to sell you on the service. And some people are more selfish than others. Some people will justify to themselves why you need all of this stuff and why you should spend all this money. And you'll feel guilty and you'll spend it because you don't know what's right or wrong, right? For example, you'll go to the vet and your dog will be vomiting. And a vet will say, we have to take x-rays and do blood work and give him some medications and follow up. And if he's not better, we gotta do this and this and that. And you're like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. Okay, I don't want anything to happen in my bed. And you do it. Whereas a vet who is less selfish about the money will tell you that, look, you have the option to take x-rays, do blood work, because if it's a foreign body and it could be dangerous, and your pet could die abruptly if you're not careful and don't notice signs. So if you're really concerned, we could take an x-ray. If that doesn't show anything, we could do some blood work. Or if you're not super concerned, we can do some medications to go home and see if he or she feels better. Then let us know in like 24 to 48 hours. If nothing's improving, then you should return for some x-rays and then maybe some blood work, right? This way, they care about your expenses as well as your pet. They're giving you options. Do you see the difference? It's very easy to exploit people when they don't know what's better. So many people go and get flu shots and yearly blood work and this and that, and are taking anti-inflammatory and anti-migraine medications and anti-allergy medications and all this stuff, and they all have adverse effects. You see? You gotta look at the bigger picture. Anyway. You shouldn't need to be on all that stuff. You don't need to get a flu shot to not get the flu. Getting the flu is normal. You know what I mean? Yet they push it on you. You go to the doctor. Do you want the flu shot? Every freaking time. I've only been to the doctor like once in the last 15 years. And it's because I needed to do a blood test for something. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I was going to get like a physical therapy for something as well. But they're like trying to push that flu shot onto you. Hey, do you want the flu shot? Like, no. Can you put it in my file that I don't ever want the flu shot? And they're like, sorry, we can't do that. We have to ask you every time. Wow. Now that's corporate, maniacal, nasty corruption right there for you. That's why nobody trusts them. Or shouldn't trust them. Because it's all about money, right? Nobody gives a shit if the flu shot only helps 20% or 10% or doesn't help you at all. Just blowing some bullshit into your body, into your system, not knowing how it reacts with your cells. Maybe it gives you cancer. Who knows? You don't know. You haven't studied the 100-page report. Somewhere in there it probably says there's possible chances of you getting cancer from the flu shot. I bet you it says that shit in there. So just keep your eyes open, man. Keep your mind open. Don't believe shit just because people say it's right for you. Question things. Ask around. Look at different sources. Talk to different people. Stay humble and be open. Alright, I'm going to get back to watching this UFC. They're taking way too long between fights, so I have all this time to chat with you guys. Much love. Namaste. And living and loving and leveling up.